Told you.
Good afternoon. This is Janet Hickox with Ascension Astrology. Sitting to my left here today is the lovely Kornelia Stephanie. Say hey.
Hey.
Hey, hoes. How are you? We're in a weird mood today. I'm in a weird mood, but a good mood, not a weird, bad mood, just weird, like excited. Life is fun and exciting right now. And I hope it is for everybody.
Yes, it's time, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's time to let that inner child come out and play.
Well, I'm grateful that the snow is gone today. Yesterday, I was kind of shocked when it started falling from the sky and thought, oh no, I have to be in Mount Vernon at 8 o'clock this morning. I have to be here this afternoon, but now it's beautiful outside, just sort of calm and peaceful. And
did you see the snowflakes today? They were like huge when they were coming down.
No, I didn't see them when they were big. I saw little itty bitty ones that were just piling
they
up
were
on
like,
the roads.
half silver dollars.
Oh man.
Like, yeah. Huge.
Yeah. This is like the second or third or fourth, I don't know, big snowstorm we've had.
Yeah. I'm so done with the snow. I don't know about you. I had a nosebleed yesterday.
From the dry air, having to be in the heat all the time.
Yeah.
And I think there's just something, I don't know, there's a lot of things going on body-wise, symptoms of things coming up, as we ascend or as we change or as we evolve, that, weird things like a bloody nose, like why?
Yeah.
Out of the blue would that happen?
Yeah. Yeah.
Makes it kind of weird. Hello, everybody out there. I see you, Laura. Nice to see you. Good morning. Or let's see, for you, Rebecca, it's either early in the morning or it's late at night, but hey. Nice to see you. And anybody else out there that we can't see, welcome. Today we're going to talk about, many different things. We tend to just meander through whatever it is that
we tend to flow.
Yeah, we're just in the flow. But it occurred to me earlier this week with the new moon that we've really embarked upon another level. It feels like, how you do the spiral and the spiral comes back around and then you're up on the next level. I feel like we're up on that next level. And that it has upped the change factor, if you will, the amount of change that's going on within each of us, the things that we have to claim at this point. Have you noticed that at all?
Yeah. And today I did a pre-record show with Pia and
Colin.
Colin. And we were talking about the spiral of consciousness. We're going to be bringing these guys onto this show here next month. And the conversation that we had was just so amazing and so enlightening. One of the things that we talked about is the power of choice. And you just mentioned right now how we're walking around in the spiral, and many of us can continue on walking around that same part of the spiral and walk again, or choose up level, choose again, choose higher. We have to choose it.
Yeah, I get that. And I think that for many times in my own personal experience, I've not chosen, right? I've just gone on without making a conscious choice about what I'm doing. And I think that's, the wake-up call for all of us is, how can you become more conscious in every choice that you're making, in moving forward, I'll give you a great example. In just a little bit ago, I was driving over here, and it's this beautiful landscape I'm driving through. And I went into this this old pattern of thought around lack. And I went, why am I there? What happened? What got me there? And I don't even know what it was that got me there. But what I did was I chose to stop that thought by actually first and sort of acknowledging that thought was there, that there must still be this charge, this fear that I had around it. And then the second thing was I just loved it, despite the fact it wasn't necessarily a thought I wanted to have. And I chose again. I just chose a different thought.
That's actually it. That's it for everybody all the time in every present moment. When you're saying that you weren't conscious before, I can't say the same for me, is because as an ascension guide and as an ascension worker, this has been really the job. And part of all of us is we continuously have to choose our thoughts, our actions, our feelings, how it is that we want to feel. And the fact that you caught yourself today where you were at and you were like experiencing a level of lack, and you realized, oh my gosh, self-realization in the moment, realizing, oh, I'm presently thinking about lack, which isn't true. And then you chose again, and you chose to bring yourself out of it, where before you were just unconscious and you weren't fully claiming and owning your power in it.
Yeah, I don't think that's what I was doing so much as I would just continue the thought pattern.
Oh, okay.
Right? I would just let it drag me into further thoughts about it. And I would notice I was doing that. But now I noticed I was doing that, and I just stopped it, acknowledged it, and then moved on into a new thought. I purposely chose what to think about from there.
That's
right.
it. Yeah.
And, and to me, that's the key, is that in every moment, if you find yourself, and it doesn't have to be about lack, it can be about relationships, a fight you had with someone, something else that's going on in your life. And we always have that ability to choose. That's the cool thing that I think I just had that big aha about, is that I can choose where I go with my own thoughts.
Exactly.
Even though I tell people that all the time. I think there's a difference between knowing it and then knowing it.
Yeah. And do you know that we think something like 60,000 thoughts a day? And how many of these thoughts are negative? And you know how we talked about this before, like, why is it that we focus on the negative, right? Like, for instance, if it's your birthday and everybody in the world wished you happy birthday, except for that one person, and you focus on that one person that didn't. And it's because we focus on the negativity, right? And right now, I think what's so beautiful with this illumined moon and this space that we're in, everything is coming to light. And really, we just don't have the luxury anymore to stay in the lack or stay in the untruths, when we have to really align with our truth. And that is choosing on a continuous basis, right?
And it's so juicy right now to be able to do this, because with Mercury retrograde, our mind is already moving backwards. And I mean, if I had thought about it that way, I would realize, oh, that's because Mercury's in retrograde. So it's bringing me back to old thought patterns, or to old beliefs, or old, just old thoughts, old things that have happened, and then living from that point and not living from the truth.
And would you believe, I think you're just totally tapping into this energy that of the show that we did today. We talked a lot about choice. Choice being, this is something that we have to continuously do, just like when we go to our closet in the morning and we're choosing to pick our outfit and our clothes.
Is it blue or is it pink today?
Right? And we choose our thoughts. So choose them carefully. Later on, I want to talk about a little bit about my membership program and how important that is, by keeping the thoughts positive, because we create our reality based on the thoughts we think, right? And so the thoughts that we think, the beautiful thing is you didn't go down the rabbit hole today and you completely
stopped it.
Right?
Just stopped it.
And there's so many blessings, so many wonderful things that have happened to you in these last few weeks with all the work that you've been doing.
It's like a redirect. You know how when sometimes you get on a website and maybe they've changed their provider, or they've changed something, and you get that redirect. It says you'll be redirected in 2 seconds, and then boom, boom, and now you're on the new site.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like has happened.
Yeah. Choose it. Yeah.
We're being redirected to the higher level of how to express ourselves, of how to tap into the truth, as opposed to everything that's the way it's always been.
Yeah. Isn't that, and that is freedom. That is the true freedom.
Yes.
Because you're free from the negativity. You're free from the lack. You're free. Literally, you are choosing your way into paradise.
I like that.
You're choosing your way into heaven on earth. You're choosing your way into the paradigm that you want to live in and that you want to create, right?
Yeah.
It's all a matter of choice.
Yeah. So, hey, hello, Debbie Hedden. Hello, Vanita. Hello, Mimi. Good evening to you guys as well. Center of the country. So yeah, evening.
Okay.
Yeah. So let's see. You have something you want to share with us today. Is that something you want to do now or in a little bit?
Well, I want to ask some questions.
Let's do it.
I want to ask some questions, and I want us to answer in the chat box. Really sit down and whatever comes to mind is answer those questions, and you too. So I'm going to ask you.
Oh, so
I'm going to
she
ask you.
just covered up the questions, so
I'm
I
gonna
can't
ask
get
you.
them.
I'm going to ask you because everything has to do with now allowing our inner child to come fully out and play and express. And
Mhm.
so right now, really, that's what this time period is about, is on this ascension timeline, right? That we get to choose how it is that we want to create our 2019 from a place of joy, fun. So my number one question to you is, what lights you up? What lights you up? What lights you up? What animates your soul?
Mm.
What animates your soul? What animates your soul? What makes my heart skip a beat? And so these are the questions that you want to ask yourself so that you can allow that joy, that inner child to come out. What is it that you used to love to do when you were a child?
Hmm.
What did you love to play with? What toys did you love to play with? What was the thing?
Well, personally, maybe I should type those questions in here too, so other
Okay.
people could be thinking about them.
Okay, so what lights me up?
What? Oops.
What lights me up?
What lights me up?
What animates my soul?
Can I do more than one at the same? I can't do. I can only do one.
Okay.
So think of them as a series then. What animates my soul? What makes my heart skip a beat?
Yeah, yeah.
So great questions, because then, the more you think like that,
Mm-hmm.
the more that you create more and more of that joy in your life. So the first thing that jumped into my mind when you said, what is it that you like to do as a kid? I would love the freedom of being on a bicycle and just bicycling my heart out, pedaling away, and just the wind in my hair. And we would go on adventures. Like there was a group of us kids and we'd go on adventures. And those adventures would be things like we'd pack a backpack. I mean, we would like have this whole storyline of what we were doing. Like it was like some kind of murder mystery, even though there wasn't murder, but it was a mystery type thing we were going to solve, or we were going to go find the way through the back roads and how to get back to the place where we started. And we just had a great time doing that.
Isn't that interesting? A lot of us can relate to nature. Going back into nature, being in nature, that's what lights me up too. When I think back, because I grew up in Germany, I one of the things that we used to always do is we used to always go to the woods, and we would go to the woods and we would play in the woods, and that was one of my favorite things to
like
do.
Hansel and Gretel.
Yeah, and another thing that we used to do is we used to go, because in Europe we have all these castles, so we had all these castles that we would go to, and they were abandoned castles, they were broken castles, they were but still we would go there and play and pretend that we were during the king and the queen,
the courtiers.
Yeah, and just and play, and it was, so those are the things. But really, what lights you up?
It can be a pretty deep question, because, first of all, I think about my grandkids and my kids, right? Just the children, it doesn't matter whose child either, right? I just see a child and my face just lights up. I smile at them, even if they're not smiling, but you know how most times you see a kid, they're smiling at you.
Yeah.
So there's something to do with children. And even, I don't know, I just go through the grocery store and I'm smiling at the cashiers or chatting them up. Something about connection like that with people.
That's it. Because, like I was thinking about that right now, like today, I had such a connection with my guests that I interviewed on my show that that lights me up. It lights me up to connect with another person and express love to each other. Like, that's what we were doing. It's like, wow, we're saying to each other back and forth, I love you. I love you. And, you know, here we are halfway across the world. We've never met each other in person, but we're sharing this message, this level of consciousness. We love the earth so much. We know that we're all extensions of each other. We know that we're all connected. So the fact that we can be with each other and express love to each other in ways where there's no filters and there's no doubts and fears present, that we can just be, that lights me up.
Nice. I want you guys to tell us now. You guys can type into the chat and we'll see it. What lights you up? Hi, Suzanne. She said, I made it late, but yay, need this today. That's awesome. We all need one another here. So tell us in your own words, what gets you excited? What makes your heart skip a beat? What lights you up? I missed a question.
Oops, yeah. What lights you up and what animates my soul?
Yeah. What animates your soul?
Yeah. So part of the soul thing, you know, like when we look at our humanity and we look at because here's the thing, we are birthing ourselves in the new world. We're living the second life now. We had our first life, which is our old self. And then now we're living our second life. And that's part of our ascension. It's, you know, birthing ourselves into the new and living in a new paradigm that we're creating with every choice, action, and deed that we're experiencing, right?
Love it.
So the soul, I remember when I was in deep pain and deep emotional pain, and I remember the intense feelings that I had, the emotional body and the wounding and all of that. And I remember my soul feeling like, gosh, you know, I am in just intense pain. I want to experience intense pleasure.
Oh, yeah. Going to the total opposite.
Total opposite, which is part of the duality, which is part of what my guest told me today, that's part of my energy signature. This is the piece that I bring in, is helping people see the opposite of the duality, which totally resonates with my programs that I've put together and all of the things.
So what's on the other side of duality?
You bring in another energy of moving beyond the duality and the inclusion piece. Almost like what you did today when you were in the car and you were acknowledging the lack. And then all of a sudden you made a choice and you thought, I don't want to think this thought. I'm going to choose to focus on abundance. I'm going to choose to go higher. That is the triad, that other energy where you're choosing higher and you're choosing to go beyond that duality piece.
Yeah.
That's the energy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I also experience it at times when I'm on the right track with something like that. Like when I'm really connecting with joy, I almost experience it as almost can I say a stretching? Like there's these little tingles that are running down through the center of my body. And I feel like I'm being stretched and expanded when that happens.
Yeah.
I know that sounds weird, but it's just a weird feeling that when I am doing something that is expansive and not so much from the old paradigm, that my body is literally telling me about it.
Yeah. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that an awesome feeling?
Yeah. And I noticed this years ago, actually, even back when, when I was first starting in metaphysical kinds of stuff, I would notice when I was doing something I really loved and I got excited, that feeling of just being stretched.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. You know, when you were talking, I was just thinking like the other thing, like what really lights me up is when I'm soft, towards myself.
Oh, yeah.
When I'm soft towards myself, that really, when I bring that softness towards myself, a greater level of softness than I may have yesterday or even the day before, you know what I mean? Yeah. Is because when we can bring that greater level of softness, that softness to ourselves, and it's like, you know, I love you. You're totally good. I'm totally good with you. I'm totally good at where you are right now. It's perfect. You're perfect just the way you are. You're perfect just the way you are. And when I can offer that to myself, with everything that's going on in the world, just like who was coming here, Suzanne, when she was saying, I really need this today. It sounds like, Suzanne, like you had a hard day and there was a lot to deal with, and there was a lot that you had to face or do, and whatever it is, and that you need this beautiful space of love and compassion and energy
and
connection and love and that softness, that's where you can connect and feel home at peace, right? And
I love it.
Isn't that's what lights me
up. Look at some
of
these juicy things people say here.
Awesome.
So Debbie Hedden says, what gives her joy?
What lights me up
is conversation with like-minded or not people, people who make me laugh, laughter. And she says, I laugh a lot. Laughter is the best medicine. Suzanne says, when my sisters on my page ask me for help, Crystal, I was a nerd, so reading, road trips, camping, music, and concerts. Crystal, I can so see that. Daphne, unconditional love lights me up. Joy, laughter, and humor. I can so see that too. Suzanne says, creating peace within everyone and everything in my life, helping loved ones come to and see peace. Gosh, that's wonderful.
Yeah. I mean, look at that. Look at all of those feelings. Look at that vortex of energy that we're speaking to right now. And that's the energy we're swimming in. This is where we want to be. This is how we want to express ourselves, not just here, but everywhere in the world. Like today, when I was with Pia and Colin, and when they were talking about the spiral of consciousness of evolution, some of the things I was thinking, how long is it going to take us? I thought, and I said it. I said, oh my gosh. I said, isn't that interesting? I want to know how long is it going to take us? Because really, it's like, don't we just want to get it done where we can all talk like this all over the place, right? With each other.
Vanita says, travel and adventure, theme parks and roller coasters, close connection with people, acting and dancing, breaking boards with various body parts. She is a karate.
Wow.
I don't know what belt you are. I think you might have gone to black belt, Vanita. I don't remember, but so that's awesome. And Suzanne says her mom has always called her the peacemaker.
Okay.
Laura.
Well, isn't that funny? Because Suzanne, that's one of the things I just said before I even read anything. When I was saying you must have had a day and really what you wanted is just peace. And sure enough, peace. That is she a Libra? Is Suzanne a Libra?
I should know this, huh?
Yeah.
But I don't.
Okay.
I don't remember what she is.
We forgive you.
I did her reading too. Well, Suzanne, tell us what you are. Anyway, Laura says, I love being around people and sharing love and passion.
Yes, me too.
Yeah.
I love that too.
And Suzanne, I just lost 3 loved ones in the last 3 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
That's tough.
That's
very tough.
Wow.
Mimi, as a youngster, I loved buying art supplies or my folks surprising me with new supplies. Now that I'm retired and committing to art, it lights me up when someone adopts one of my pieces.
Oh my gosh.
It brings a feeling of contentment when I paint and joy that another wants to have it for themselves. I have to share her page with you. It's called the Flower Tribe, I think. Mimi, type in for us what your Facebook page is, because she makes the most beautiful silk scarves.
Wow.
Like, wraps and just beautiful things.
Wow.
She's really quite good. Suzanne loves laughing. Rebecca, laughter, adventures, new music, and insight that expands my heart or mind. Vanita is a 2nd degree black belt.
2nd degree. Wow.
I'm assuming that means you're good.
Wow.
Yeah. So we have some great people out there saying, things now.
And look at how we're raising the vibration, right?
Exactly.
That's the joy.
Imagine this. You go to bed at night, and the last thoughts before you go to bed are on these kinds of things.
Yes.
Right? What lights you up, what you're grateful for that day, or what makes your heart skip a beat. You fall asleep thinking those things instead of, what do I got to do tomorrow? How am I going to get everything done that needs to get done, or worrying about someone else, or worrying about, even anything, right? Just thinking those kind of thoughts. And then first thing when you get up in the morning,
you look forward to, here's the thing, because one of the things that lights me up is I write every morning. I have an online membership and an online tribe that I write daily messages. They're anywhere between 1 minute to 5 minutes. And usually what people are saying is it's the first thing that they look to when they wake up in the morning is they look for the message.
Uh-huh.
And the other thing is, like, what they're saying is listening to the daily messages really sets people up on the track that day so that they can really be focused on their day, because we're part of a tribe doing this together. So
so you're all focused in
on this,
on the similar thoughts, similar message.
Yeah.
That's
And
cool.
I thought I would share one message with everyone today.
Let's do it.
So let's see if this works, huh? Because I'm going to bring my computer here.
Okay.
And I'm just going to press play, and we'll see what happens if you all can hear it, right?
So let's see, Mimi, I appoint you to type in yes or no, Flower Tribe Creations. That's the name of
Oh,
her
good.
page.
I want to check it out.
Please do visit and check it out. It's gorgeous.
So
she's a Cancer with Gemini ascending, and oh my God, I can't remember my moon at this time.
Okay, so she's a Cancer.
Suzanne,
okay.
That makes total and complete sense now. So Mimi, I appoint you to let us know if you can hear this.
Okay.
Or not.
This is a message that went out this morning.
No, it doesn't want to play.
Hello, beautiful, beloved you. Welcome to your magical moment, your beautiful, beautiful beginning of your day. May all that you come in contact with today reveal to you how amazing you are, how beautiful you are, how brilliant you are, perfect just the way you are. Thank you so much for being here, for blessing us with your presence. The title of today's post is Activate Your Superpowers of Receptivity. It's perfect to place your focus on that, place your awareness on receiving, and allow my words to awaken in you what is already there, ready to open, so that you can receive more, so that you can express more, so that you can be more. Mm-hmm. More of your authentic truth. You're the bridge to the new world. This portal and these daily messages are here to inspire you into your greatness. They are designed to awaken within you what has been there all along and is now coming out into the world in your unique way. You are in alignment with perceiving higher states of consciousness and laying new foundations. You are showing others how it's done by being willing to travel this new road. You are becoming. You are becoming. You are already your own guru. You remember who you are. You are an independent being living at the leading edge of evolution, birthing a new paradigm. You are pioneering new thought, and as always, it takes courage to sit empty and do not do things in the old way. You are setting up your life structure with what's important to you, dancing to the beat of your own drum. Slow down and share your love. Smell the roses and allow yourself to receive the fullness of who you are. Receiving is an art, a practice of vulnerability. the more that you receive, the more capacity you have to give away. Don't hold back. Open your vessels. Activate your superpowers of receptivity. And now, as this new light is penetrating every ounce of your being, you are receiving Source, God's love, in every electron of your being. Be grateful that you have taken the time to integrate this level of light into your physical body. On and up and out. Here we go. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Integrate. Rest. Allow. Be you. Peace. Love. Liberty. See you all tomorrow. Namaste.
Beautiful. So I got to ask a question. Where did you get the idea for receptivity?
So everything that I write
Uh-huh.
is never an idea. It is just a channel.
So you just open the channel and you just start chatting, talking.
Yeah.
What is so fascinating about that? And I know you don't know this because I know you don't necessarily follow human design. But today, Mars moved into the gate 2, receptivity.
Wow.
It's about holding space and, holding your hands out and receiving from the bounty of the universe, from other people, from whatever, source has for you. And you would have had no way of knowing that.
No, I wouldn't have had no way of knowing.
Because I know I didn't tell you.
No. The thing about the messages that I write is, this is how I forged a new world. This is how I forged a new paradigm. So I sit and I tune in to the cosmic consciousness, okay, to the galactic center, to source energy, and then I write it out. And then after I write it, I then record it. So I write it out and then I record it. And this is for my online membership tribe. And the reason why I did that is because years ago, probably about 4 years ago, I asked Source Energy, what is it that you want me to do now after I had written my book? What is it that you want me to do now on how to express you better? What can I do? What is it that I can do? And it was very clear. And it said, the energy came back and it said, broadcast messages, broadcast. And I said, broadcast? What do you mean broadcast? What do you mean broadcast? So I said, like recording? Yes. So like recording. And then I created the structure in my online membership and wrote these messages. And every morning I send out a message 5 days a week that engages each person that listens to this level of consciousness and this level of truth, right? So what I wanted to share today is I wanted to share this message because I really have never really promoted it. It's all been pretty much word of mouth. And I'm getting ready now to really promote this membership out. But what I wanted to say is the courses that are also part of this creation is there's a course that's called Embody a High Self-Worth. It's a 7-day course. There's a course that's called Embody a High Self-Love. It's a 7-day course. There's a course that's called Embody Faith. There's a course that's called Claim Your Power. These are all 7-day courses. There's a course that's called Embody Heaven on Earth. That one's not 7 days. That one is more like, 144 days, something like that. But there's all these courses that people also get access to in addition to the daily messages that I write. So just anybody that is interested and wants to support themselves to have a strong spiritual foundation, a strong spiritual practice right from the comfort of their own home can just go to KorneliaStephanie.com. There is a tab that says membership, and the membership is $13 a month, less than 50 cents a day. And you get messages like this every single day that you have access to, that whenever you're feeling down or you're feeling tired and you're feeling burdened and you're feeling like you just can't go on, that you have everything that is right there for you, that's supporting you with your truth, because the truth is that you're an amazing infinite creator that is a bundles and bundles and bundles of love. And that's the truth. And you're remembering who it is that you are. It's just at the same time, you're also releasing and letting go of your shadow so that you can fully embody your divinity and walk in your divinity and own that divinity full out. And that is the job for all of us, to remember who we are while we're letting go. The greatest spiritual practice is surrender and let go. And when we can let go and let go of our old humanity, let go of the doubts, let go of the fears, let go of what was I going to invite you all to do today? I invite you all to release all the fears that you won't measure up. Release all the fears now that you won't measure up. Be willing to release them, because it's not true, because you already are. You already are. And we want that amazing uniqueness that only you have, that we're waiting to see, to experience, to feel from you, that your family is waiting, that your friends are waiting. Release the fears that you won't measure up, and invite the vibration of your future parts into your space right now. Invite that part that hasn't been realized, because there's secret sauce there. There are secret gifts. There are secret gifts that haven't been realized, and those need to be realized. Those want to be had, because like I said, you are amazing just the way you are. And that's the beauty of all of it.
I wish I was a DJ, right? I could just cue up these songs at the moment you say things like that.
Oh,
because there was a song.
That would be fun.
I love you just the way you are.
That totally would be so fun to do. Oh my God, to put a song next to it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be so fun?
I'd be sitting here and just
totally
cue up
we
the
have
song.
to do that one day when we have our studio. We're going to have a studio, you guys. We're going to have a studio.
Yeah.
Where we're gonna, that is going to be the plan. That's coming. We're going to have a studio, and then we'll have the DJ. Because that was one of my favorite things to do when I was a kid, is to sing.
Hey, well, and now that I know that the microphone picks up your computer, I could queue up songs on your computer and just hit play. But the problem is that, we do this in a flow, right? So it comes up in the moment that I'm thinking, I love you just the way you are.
Yeah, that's true.
Not that it was like pre-planned. You'd be saying that.
Yeah, that's true. But, just even having the thought that we could put a song behind it would be fun. I mean, hey, and you know what? We can, because we do write things down. And so we can very easily say, okay, here you go. Love you just the way you are. And then just play a few sound bites, and just have so much fun with it, because that's what we want to do. We want to have fun.
Right now I should be playing Girls Just Want to Have Fun.
Exactly. See, Girls Just Want to Have Fun, because it is International Women's Day.
Is it really?
Oh, yes.
Oh my gosh.
It has been for the last, I think, 2 days, and then today, and then tomorrow, one more day.
So like the whole week. International Women's Week.
International Women's Week. And it's like, for all of us, the amazing women that we are, women goddesses, you amazing, beautiful creatures, all of us celebrating this gorgeousness of who we are.
I love it.
Right?
Mm-hmm. I love it. Thank you for sharing that with us. That was really very beautiful. What time in the morning do you do that?
Well, now the way I do it is I send it out in the evening time, so that it's in your email inbox in the morning, so that, that you have it, because I have also people from around the world. And if, this way it's already in there. Mm-hmm. And then that way. And the other beautiful thing about my online membership is there's a social network. So people can talk about where they're at what they're doing, and they can talk to each other kind of like the same way that we talk to each other on Facebook.
Yeah.
Which is really nice, right? And this was one of my ways that I could express my gifts and that I could create and forge the new path and create the new world, because I can. And because
I can.
because I have to have an outlet for my gifts. I have to have an outlet for them, right? Because did you know, Janet, that when, I don't know if you knew this, but when I used to have cysts on my ovaries, and they were the size of oranges, 2 of them.
Damn.
Okay, one on each, and they wanted to go in and take out all of my female parts, everything, right? And of course, they thought that I had endometrium, that I was a candidate for endometrium cancer and all these things. So when I found out, I went in to have the ultrasound done. This was in 2012, maybe even before then. And when I found out that because it's very painful, it's very, very painful. So, and because I'm a healer, and because I help other people heal things, and I believe in healing and self-healing. So I said, well, I'm going to heal this myself. And so then I went in to look and see what exactly these cysts were all about. And I found out that what the cysts were all about, they were boils, and they were anger. It was anger that was stored inside my physical body, and it was stored on my ovaries in the creative womb creation.
The very definition of your femininity.
The very definition of my femininity. And the reason why I was so angry is because I didn't have an outlet for my consciousness, that I didn't have an outlet for my creative expression, that people didn't get me. They didn't understand me, especially not back then, talking like this. And it's like, what do you do with all this energy? So it was suppressed. And once I had that realization, I then changed my diet. I changed my beliefs, and then I started creating. And once I started creating, the boils went away, and the whole thing.
That is so fabulous.
The whole thing completely went away. And it was like, and I did also pull in a couple of healers, because I wanted somebody else to do some support and get some energy work. But when they called me to schedule the appointment to come in and have a biopsy done for cancer, to rule out endometrium cancer, at the time I didn't have any health insurance. And so I told the woman that, I said, well, I don't have any health insurance. What happens if I do test positive? She said, you're going to go on a list. We'll then put you on a list. And depending on what stage you're in, then we will go based on the person, is going to get it first, whoever stage is worse. And I told her, I said, oh my God, I am not going to do this. And I said, totally take me off the list, because you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cancel my appointment with cancer. I'm going to cancel this appointment. I'm going to cancel this, and I am not going to do this. And no way in hell am I signing up for this. And my body, it was like, no way in hell am I doing this. I'm going to change my diet. I'm going to change my beliefs. I'm going to do the self-healing, what my body's capable of doing. And then I'm going to get on with it. And I have been cyst-free, this whole time.
That is so cool.
So that is,
I mean, it's what we tell people all the time. You have the ability to heal.
Yeah.
That you don't have to go outside of yourself to find healers.
Every single one of us. Yeah, we can, self-healing. Our bodies are able to self-heal. And all you have to do is say, I want to self-heal. And as soon as you flip that switch and say, I want to self-heal, the universe, everything just rearranges itself for you so that you can.
In support of you. Yeah.
If there are challenges in your body where you do need medical advice and do need medical doctors, please don't get me wrong. I am not saying that you shouldn't do that, but
or at least get the support that you need in the moment if there's a crisis going on in your body, so that then you can spend the time doing some self-healing, right? You're just buying yourself the time that you need. especially if it's something critical.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's what it's for. But not to become so dependent, and not get to the root core of what the issue was really all about. Just like I had another client who was having these gallbladder attacks. And years ago, when I was in my early 30s, I had to have my gallbladder taken out. And what is the gallbladder? Again, it's digestion. It's about digestion. And what was happening? I couldn't digest life. So I was continuously suppressing anger inside my physical body. And that was the thing. And if I would have known back then, 30 years ago, what I know today, that, hey, I can release my anger. I can work on my anger. I can do this myself. I wouldn't have had an organ taken out of my body that really would have been great for me to have today. And so when my client came to me and she said, the doctor, I'm having gallbladder attacks. The doctor wants me to go in and have my gallbladder taken out. I told her, I said, would you consider waiting for at least 2 weeks? Let us work on getting the anger out of the body. Let us work on that. And if in 2 weeks from now, if you didn't get if it doesn't change, then you can always have your organ removed then. So can you give us 2 weeks? Well, she gave us 2 weeks. And guess what? The beautiful woman today still has her gallbladder, which is this. And again, it was anger stored inside the physical body because she didn't know what to do with her anger. She was suppressing it inside of her body, not being able to digest. And where did it go? It went to an organ. So I don't know how we ended up on this topic.
I don't either. But you know what? I did the same thing with my gallbladder for about 20 years. I was successful at keeping it healed, right?
Okay.
Keeping it at bay or something.
Yeah,
but then, what was it in 2006? I finally
Did you have
lost
it taken out?
I had to have it taken out.
Yeah. So many of us.
I got into crisis and I couldn't do anything. I had something stuck in there and all of my digestion was backing up and I ended up having to have it taken out. But I was 25 years old, 26 years old when I was first diagnosed with a gallbladder issue. And I'm laying on the table in the doctor's office. It's an emergency hospital, I think it was. And I'm waiting for him to go find room in the hospital for them to take my gallbladder out right then. And I looked over at Terry and I'm like, after the doctor leaves, I'm like, no, I'm not having this gallbladder taken out today. I said, help me do this. So we both sat there and just envisioned white light, blue light, whatever healing light that we could come up with in that moment. And I just surrounded myself starting, where the pain was, which is where I'm assuming the gallbladder was. And the doctor came back in and he said, I'm so sorry, we don't have room in here tonight. And I said, oh, it's okay. I'm done with this.
Wow.
And he's like, what do you mean? I said, I don't have this anymore. It's done.
Wow. See, you already knew back then. You already knew it. And I bet so many of us knew it too. We've had instances like that where we didn't follow and where we didn't trust and follow all the way through, right? But you didn't have it taken out that night.
No. And it was another, 19 or 20 years before I actually had it taken out.
And when you think about it, again, when you look at the gallbladder, the gallbladder is about your digestion. It's about digestion. So when you look at, oh my God, when you're suppressing energy and you're suppressing emotion inside the physical body, and pretty much, my belief is, I want to say 85 to 90% of illnesses are suppressed emotions in the physical body that either we came in with, that's still part of our DNA, or, of lifetime of suppressing in a particular organ. And that's why it's so important that we learn how to process our emotions, right? That we learn how to express our emotions, that we have healthy outlets for expressing emotions. And when we can realize that, my gosh, anger isn't bad. It's only harmful if we use it to project anger onto another person that's hurtful to them, or if we use it to cause harm to another person, or when we suppress anger inside our physical body.
Look, at other people are saying the same thing. Daphne says, yes, I can relate. I did the same thing with thyroid and body pain. We must take the time and listen to our body. It heals itself all from within us. She also said, you guys have me singing, "You are beautiful just the way you are." I've been writing
Yay.
songs. It's amazing. Oh, I love it.
Yay.
My kids used to tease me when they were kids. They would say things and I would immediately bust out into song around whatever it was they were saying.
That's so fun.
And, I don't have kids living at home anymore, so I don't really bust out in song as often
Well, you
as
know
I
what?
used to.
I'm going to smack your hand because you know what? Where's that inner child? That's the point, is to stop being the parent. Let that inner child come out, right?
My daughter once looked at me. She goes, "Mom, you can make a song out of anything."
Really?
I'm
I
like,
didn't know this about you.
Oh yeah, I would just start singing. One time, I called my son the line from a song because I was in the process of singing it in my head and in response to something he said. And instead of saying Wesley, I called him L.A. because that was the next line in the song that I was singing.
Well, I didn't know that about you. I think we need to call that gift out and experience this a little bit more.
That's why I said it would be so much fun to just have songs right at our fingertips to queue up, because as soon as I hear you saying, something about having fun, I'm like, yeah, girls just want to have fun. And the songs just come.
I think that's super cool.
It's super funny.
That is super fun. And isn't it what we're supposed to do, is have a good
life fun.
Yeah. It's about having fun. It's about raising the roof and raising the vibration.
And it doesn't mean that, the thing about our evolution, our consciousness raising, our ascension, whichever words you guys want to use with that, is that, we're learning to really master our emotions. It is our emotions that, we in The Secret, right? They tried to get us to think it was all in our mind, but it's really the emotions that are driving your experiences. And just like you said, if, gallbladder is an issue with, repressing anger or not able to digest life, or what was the other thing? Your cysts about, not being able to express your creativity or
when somebody has prostate cancer, the first thing that I do is I look and see, if it's prostate cancer, first thing I'm going to look and see, were they not able to really express their sexuality as a man? And, were they not able to express their sexuality as a man because maybe they were married to a woman that wasn't really happy about her body. Maybe she had low self-worth issues. Maybe he had a high sex drive and she didn't. Maybe he wanted to be good in the marriage and not have extramarital affairs. So he suppressed the energy. And it's the sexual energy, which is highly potent energy, because again, he didn't have a wonderful outlet. So it went into one particular organ. And anytime we have cancer is always a rejection of self, which is the reason why it's so important that we practice self-love, radical self-love, radical compassion, radical love. That's the most important thing, because, I was a person, I hated myself. I had self-hatred at my core. And to really be, again, talking about duality, and to flip that and put radical self-love. I mean, I tried to commit suicide so many times. It's amazing that I'm still sitting here. And the story.
You had a life mission.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I had many guides to support me to be here, that I'm here. A suicidal soul overcoming suicide. That's why I know that people act on their emotions. That when you want to kill yourself, or when you're really, really upset, it's the pain. It's the pain that you want to kill. It's the pain. That's the part. And the number one thing is to heal yourself is to feel the emotion, feel the pain, feel the grief. That is the way that I healed myself, is feel to heal. And allow yourself to be the grieving human, because so many of us have been conditioned that we should cover it up. That
be a good girl. Don't express your emotion.
Cover it up, put it on the face, cover it up, numb it up, suppress it, eat something, drink something, go shopping, go do this.
Retail therapy.
Yeah. Instead of feeling the feelings and feeling the pain. That's one of my specialties, is whenever I am upset about anything or whatever, I dive into it all the way in and I let it consume me. And usually within 24 to 36 hours, boom, it's gone. And then when it's gone, it's the higher light comes in and takes its place.
That's better than holding on to it for years and letting it eat you alive.
Yes.
Amazing stuff. How did we get onto this subject? That's amazing.
Healing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we're, again, what is it that we're going to do? I said this to my friend. I said, now that we're all healed, we've healed our pains from the past. We've healed the separation consciousness. We realize that we are self-actualized and that we're who we are. How is it? What are we going to do now? What is it about now that we're going to do when we're not healing anymore? When we're not healing anymore, now it's about how can we express ourselves? It's about how can we unveil ourselves and how can we express ourselves even more in a way where we don't hold back.
We bring out more and more of our beauty.
And more of our beauty, where we're not holding back because we have fears of not measuring up. We're not doing that because we're going to come out of the closet, if you will. Not that closet, but if you're in that closet, come out of that closet, but come out and
of your personal closet, because we all have one,
and express yourselves. And what are the most amazing ways that you can do that? That's the number one thing. Don't you think?
Yep, absolutely. Someone mentions high anxiety here. And Diana, I don't know what else that comes along with. Was there something else you had said and I missed it?
Yeah. Are you feeling like you have anxiety? And so then the way that I would ask you, what is that?
We only have 4 minutes left.
Oh, okay. I would ask you, what is it that you're anxious about?
Yeah.
That I would ask you to journal that out. I'm anxious about, I'm worried about, I'm anxious about what? Bring that out into the consciousness, just like Janet did today when she was in the car, and she included it into her experience, not by keeping it out here. I'm anxious, I'm anxious, I'm anxious, I'm anxious. But that, what am I anxious about?
I almost always find that anxiety begins with something that's going on up here in your mind.
That's why I said
old patterns, tapes.
Yeah, like, what is it about? Because soon as you can identify, oh, I'm anxious about, I'm afraid that I'm going to lose the house next month, or I'm anxious that my lover is going to, or I'm anxious about my health, or whatever it is, bring it out so that you can bring it from the mind, out into the open, and then bring your beautiful love to it and say, oh, I see this now. And I release that anxiousness because in this present now moment, I'm not anxious. In this present now moment, I'm absolutely fine. And that is the energy to bring into all the present moments when that energy comes up.
Daphne says, love it. We got here because of the love energy that is flowing here. We are connected as higher beings to replenish the earth.
And did she say heaven on earth? That's it. Hashtag heaven on earth. You all can also go to my Heaven on Earth radio show at Transformation Talk Radio. Comes on every Friday at noon. Transformation Talk Radio. And it's also on my Facebook channel. I have other people that I bring on, guests that are helping ground that energy in, because heaven on earth is a state of consciousness. You're holding the heaven right within you. You are in heaven within you. So heaven is not separate. It's not somewhere outside of us. It's within us. And so that's
huge. That is huge.
Heaven is a state of consciousness, and it's a state of knowing that
it's a state of being.
How many people in this call here tonight were talking about unconditional love, unconditional love, unconditional love. That's heaven. Because guess what? Before on earth, we didn't have unconditional love. We had conditional love. Unconditional love is heaven on earth. That is heaven on earth. And heaven on earth is you. You hold the consciousness of heaven. You hold the second coming. You hold the uniqueness that only you can bring. You hold that compassion. You hold the wealth of information that we're wanting to hear from you. You hold it all within you. You've got the same abilities that we all do. Right?
We all have the same abilities. It's a matter of how we express it. And we all know too that our DNA is undergoing change
Huge.
And transformation. So who knows? We don't even know what we are capable of.
Isn't that going to be so fun?
I know.
Right? Isn't that going to be so fun? I mean, if we're
Someday
not,
we wake up and we are magicians.
right? We're not, that's why I said, now that we're done, and I'm not saying everybody is there. And if you're not there yet, just know that that's where you're going. Now that we're done healing, what do we do? What do we do when we're all healed? What do we do? Well, then we're moving into expressing ourselves.
We live from love and joy, and
isn't that what
juiciness.
we all want? Isn't that what we all want?
It is.
Yeah,
it is. Now, let me just say, because we've gone through a lot of different things here today, by no means are we advocating that if you're ill or that you're on medication, that you stop all that. Please, we are not medical doctors. All we can do is share with you our own experiences in self-healing. And we encourage you, of course, to do your own research and do your own due diligence in discovering what the source is of any physical conditions that you're experiencing, and work in tandem with what you're doing right now.
Absolutely, because we're not saying that at all. I mean, here's the thing: if you need to get surgery, or if you need to go and have a medical procedure done, and all I'm saying is that this has been my experience. And that
and if we can do it,
you can do it.
You can do it.
That's the whole point, is that we can do it. It's about the full empowerment of what we're capable of and what we're able to do.
Yeah.
And that we can do amazing things,
because we are amazing people.
Because even Christ reminded us of what Christ did. We can do even greater.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's time that we really own that energy and act it out.
There we go. That's going to have to be the final word for today. It's already 5:01.
Wow.
I know. Where does the time go? Thank you for joining us this evening. We love that you interact with us and comments and so forth. We'll see you again next week.
Wait, one more thing. Please go to our YouTube channel. Please go to
there's more.
I know. Ascension and Astrology. Like, share, and subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe. Yes. And thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Mwah. See you all tomorrow morning on Living Astrology at 8 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. East Coast time. Maybe choose to tune in to Heaven on Earth tomorrow at noon on the Transformation Talk radio station, which you can find on Facebook, or you can go to
Kornelia Stephanie Facebook.
There we go. All right, guys. Take care.
Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.